Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to do a follow-up video to my last video I did about this fight. You know, you can say the date, March 5th, Chocolatito, Roman Gonzalez, the real TBE, boxing's former #1 pound-for-pound king, but always the #1 pound-for-pound king in the hearts of True School Sports. You know, he's fighting the very tough, very dangerous, and very formidable Julio Cesar Martinez, who was a later placement, moving up from 112 to fight Chocolatito. So it's a really interesting fight. It's a momentous occasion. And the last video I made was kind of negative because, you know, I truthfully think that the powers that be in boxing are trying to make Martinez a star, and they're trying to phase out Chocolatito. And not just Chocolatito, I think in general, the older fighters, the older guard, the top guys that have been, you know, reigning over the super flyweight division for all these years, I feel like the powers that be in boxing are trying to phase these guys out slowly so that they can bring in the next generation. So guys like Quadras, Chocolatito, Gallo, Rungvisai, these guys I think are being phased out, you know, as they say, out with the old, in with the new. You know what I'm saying? But I really think, you know, I was negative that last video because I do think that's happening. But once I went and I actually looked at the tape on Martinez, because, you know, sometimes these fighters, you can get a inflated view of how good they are until you go watch the tape. That's why you can't listen to promoters, you can't listen to hype. You gotta go watch the tape. The tape tells all, and come to your own conclusion, come to your own surmise. And with Martinez, right? Like, I think Martinez is a damn good fighter. He's world champion for a reason. He's dangerous. He's strong. He's young. He's got a lot of attributes that can really give Chocolatito some problems in this fight. But where I ultimately think he's gonna come unstuck when they fight is just his approach to the sport and his approach to combination punching. You know, like Martinez is one of these guys. You know, in baseball, they say, in baseball, when a guy's pitching, they have a term for pitchers that throw all their energy into every pitch. They call them max effort guys. You know, Martinez is a max effort fighter, and what I mean by that is every punch he throws, he's throwing it with every fiber of his being, which I don't think is it's good against fighters who don't have the power or the composure or the poise to deal with that. But when you get a fighter like Chocolatito, who's been in there with every style, been in there with the who's who of the weight class, been in there with pressure fighters, been in there with smaller, faster fighters, he's seen it all in this weight class. So you come with the kitchen sink and loading up on everything is not gonna really do much for him. I think Martinez, he keeps his head on the center line too much, basically what it meaning that he doesn't move his head left or right a lot. He doesn't like to block, and when he does block punches, he likes to block in a high guard a lot. So I believe that Chocolatito, just so long as his footwork's on point, he's gonna have a chance to pivot around him and land a bunch of body shots on Martinez. So the way I see this fight going is this: I see Martinez being very dangerous for 2 to 3 rounds. The first 2 or 3 rounds, I see him being as dangerous as anybody Chocolatito could possibly fight, because Chocolatito is older and he's at that age where he could fall off a cliff and get old overnight. But we haven't really seen that yet in his fights, his last couple fights. So we have to give him the benefit of the doubt until he shows us otherwise. So, you know, if Martinez is able to leap in with one of those hooks or put together a nice combination that hurts Chocolatito early, then that's gonna dramatically increase his chance of winning the fight. I think the first 3 rounds are very important for Chocolatito to, you know, establish himself, get into a good rhythm, catch the shots, you know, get an idea of what Martinez's power is like, and then get his range down, and then as the rounds progress, start setting up that right hand, because that right hand will be there for him. Martinez's head is not going to go anywhere. He's going to leap in with heavy, hard shots, and I just think after 3 or 4 rounds, you're going to see Chocolatito being the defensive master that he is. And yes, I said defensive master because he is a defensive master at blocking shots, parrying shots, catching shots. These are the subtle skills that make Chocolatito one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. Still, today, to this very day, still one of the best pound-for-pound fighters out there, Chocolatito. He don't got to do a whole lot. He don't got to expend a lot of energy. I think he's going to have a chance to make Martinez fight when he don't want to fight early on. And then will get him going in the middle rounds and later rounds. It's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like Canelo. You know, Canelo has a thing about him where Canelo can make fighters fight in the early rounds when they don't want to fight. Make them expend energy when they don't want to expend energy. They might throw 2 or 3 punch combinations, but Canelo is composed and he's catching the shots. Chocolatito has that same quality that Canelo has. And because of that, he's able to be economical with his work and make the punches count and have that stamina for the back half of the fight. That's why when you saw when he fought Gallo Estrada, his best rounds were actually the championship rounds, the 10th round, the 11th round, the 12th round. And I think this will be no different. So, look, Martinez is a great opponent. I think this fight's gonna be fireworks. Anything can happen. We don't write off Martinez. I don't overlook Martinez. I'm not gonna sit and disrespect him. He's been flyweight WBC world champion for a very good reason, because he's a quality fighter. But to beat a Chocolatito, you have to show that extra quality. You have to be on that next level. And I just don't think he has the proper seasoning, the skills, or the temperament to deal with the Chocolatito. But I look forward to seeing how he deals with the patient, poised, and precise attack of Chocolatito. And I look forward to seeing how Chocolatito deals with the whirling dervish ways of a Martinez. So that's just my thoughts on the fight. Pops, what do you think about Martinez versus Chocolatito?
I think that it's gonna be a good fight. It's a good fight. A good placement for Chocolatito to get his fight in. But you know my favorite word that I like to use is experience.
Experience, yeah.
And I'm gonna say with Chocolatito, he's had all the experience in the world. He's fought different fighters, fought a powerful fighter like Gonzalez. Yes, he lost, but he learned from that. And I think a lot of people are misguided as far as Martinez's power, what he's gonna do to old man Chocolatito. I don't think it's gonna happen that way. I actually think that Chocolatito's gonna use his moves, his angles, and use his smarts to outwit the young buck.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it's a great fight. If Martinez does lose like we think we will, I still think he can move back down to 112, and there's great fights out there for him against Sonny Edwards. It's just that, you know, I think Martinez versus Chocolatito is going to be a great example of a very good fighter versus an all-time great fighter. And you guys are going to see the difference between very good and all-time great. You know, there's levels to boxing. Martinez is at a good level. Chocolatito just at a greater level. But you know what? I'm very excited for this fight. I'm happy to be going to this one. You know, this will be my 4th Chocolatito fight I'm going to. So yeah, man, I think it's gonna be a great occasion, and I wish both fighters, the Warrior from Mexico and the Warrior from Nicaragua, the best, because the super flyweight division is the division that keeps giving in boxing. You know, this is the division where the real killers reside. And if you're watching my channel, I would highly suggest, encourage, and implore everyone who watches True School Sports to start supporting these fighters in the super flyweight division. Stop worrying about what's not happening in boxing, and let's get more happy about what is happening in boxing. So I'm leaving it at that. You guys give me your predictions down below. How do you think the fight will play out between Chocolatito and El Rey, Julio Cesar Martinez? Let me know down below. Take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.